All right, folks, I'm going to show you a very simple technique that can be used to basically alter the appearance of a mathematical expression. Sometimes people in math, they want to be able to accomplish some sort of mathematical technique, but the thing that's stopping them from using that mathematical technique is the appearance of the mathematical expression that they're dealing with. Now, there's a very clever truth in math where basically if you add 0 to anything, it remains unchanged. So for example, we know that 5 plus 0 equals 5, okay? And so if we were to add 0 to 5 or any number, we would get the same number. But it's the same for any kind of mathematical expression. If I had x squared minus 4x plus 1, and if I were to add 0 to that expression, it would be equal to the same thing, x squared minus 4x plus 1. And so this adding 0 is a very clever trick for being able to alter the way a mathematical expression appears. Now you may say, well, what's the point in adding 0 if it's just going to be the same? Well, math people, when they're trying to come up with clever solutions to problems, oftentimes what they'll do is they will change what 0 is. They'll add something and it's the same as adding 0, but they actually wind up adding something substantive like the number 7, or they add something substantive like an x, or maybe even an exponential expression, okay? And I'll show you what I mean by that. First, we have to understand that, and I hope you understand, that, for example, 3 minus 3 is equal to 0, and 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. We can also write it a different way. We can say that 3 plus, in parentheses, negative 3, is also equal to 0. And so what I'm saying here is this, is I can come over here to this x squared minus 4x plus 1, and if I write x squared minus 4x plus 1, and instead of putting plus 0, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put plus 2 minus 2. So if I put 2 minus 2 here, it still equals x squared minus 4x plus 1, because all I did was add 0, but I can now change the form. I can combine, because of combining like terms, I can combine this 1 and this 2 and write it as x squared minus 4x, and then 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. And then I can just sort of make sure I put on this minus 2, and now it equals the same as x squared minus 4x plus 1, but it looks a little bit different. So it has the same value, it just looks different. And you may say to yourself, why in the world would anybody want to do that? And there are a lot of great reasons why somebody would want to do that in math. One of them in particular here is I can now take this x squared minus 4x plus 3, and if I put it in parentheses and then tack on my minus 2 here, this is now a factorable expression, which you may not have covered yet, but just so you know, this we can now manipulate this mathematically as x minus 1 times x minus 3, and then I can actually just sort of tack on the minus 2 on the end of it, and now it is still the same as x squared minus 4x plus 1, okay? Now you may think, I can't even think of a good reason why somebody would want to do that. That's okay, you don't have to know that now. I'm just telling you that this is a very clever way of changing a mathematical expression in case you want to accomplish something that the original form is incapable of accomplishing. Okay? And so what we're going to do now is we're going to do that exact same thing where we do 2 minus 2 equals 0, and we're going to add it on, but we're going to do it to this example right here. So let's read this example. It says, well, let me erase here first, and then we'll read it. It says, Given the expression 19x squared minus 8x minus 11, we would like to include the term 13x. So we wish that there was a 13x in here. As you can see, there is no positive 13x showing in this expression, okay? So we would like to include positive 13x in the expression. Do this by adding 0. And here's how you do it. Step 1, you just write your original expression, 19x squared minus 8x minus 11. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add on the thing that you want in. So we're going to put plus 13x, and then you subtract away the exact same thing. So we're going to subtract away 13x because 13x minus 13x equals 0. And so we're adding 0 onto the expression, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to rearrange it. And this is legal in math. You can rearrange any mathematical expression. You can, as long as you move the sign that is to the left of the term, move it along with it. So we could put this minus 8x over here. We could put this minus 8x all the way over here. I'm going to take this plus 13x, and I'm going to move it over here after the 19x squared. So I'm going to have 19x squared. Okay, then I'm going to move the plus 13x over here. So now I'm sure that I have my plus 13x in the expression. Now I'm going to keep my minus 8x. And then I want to bring over this minus 13x. And then usually, now it depends on which kind of math you're using, but in this kind of math that we're dealing with right now in college algebra, we usually put our constant term on all the way to the right. So we're going to put our minus 11 over here. And look, we've included all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have the signs that originally belonged to them are all with them. And now the only thing we have left to do is we want to keep the plus 13x, but look what we have here. We have two like terms. We have minus 8x and minus 13x. They are like terms, and therefore we can combine them. You may say, why aren't we going to combine the plus 13x? Well, the question said that we want to include the term 13x in the expression, so we don't want to combine that with anything. So now our final answer is going to be 19x squared plus 13x, just like we wanted in the expression, and then minus 8x minus 13x is really just minus 8 minus 13. So negative 8 minus 13 is negative 21, and we'll put the x on it, and then just bring down this minus 11, and that is our final answer. So we have successfully included the term 13x in the expression by simply adding 0. And so this is what our answer will be, okay? Let's do maybe one more example, shall we? All right, so here's what we've got. Given the expression 3x squared plus 2x minus 5, we would like to include the term minus 12 in the expression. Do this by adding 0. Well, like I said, what we'll start off with is we will simply write our starting expression, 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Then we will include the term that we want to include, which is minus 12. Then we'll do the opposite of that. So the opposite of minus 12 is plus 12. And we know that minus 12 plus 12 equals 0. So that's the same as adding 0 onto this expression. And now we'll just rearrange it again. We'll go 3x squared plus 2x, because we want to put the constant term at the very end, but we want to include a minus 12, so we'll write the minus 12 next. Then we'll include this one that was originally with it, minus 5, and we'll put on the plus 12. Then we want to leave the minus 12, combine like terms. Negative 5 plus 12 is plus 7, and so our final answer will be 3x squared plus 2x minus 12 plus 7. And that'll be our final answer, and it is an expression that is equal to this, but includes a minus 12.